Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. The name is Doctor Dis. Respect, spec. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing a review over the Black Steel Bourbon from Dr. Disrespect. He has started his own bourbon. He started his own bourbon. This is batch number 2 that we're going to be reviewing. Batch number 2 looks pretty promising. So we're going to give this thing a little review and see what we think. Stand by. Let's get right on to rating this bourbon. My wig's on straight, man. So the Black Steel Bourbon. Let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. I'll go ahead and read you guys the back of this bad boy. So the Black Steel is a bourbon born in Kentucky, raised by wild-blooded masters of craft, an absurdly smooth, beautifully, ridiculously bourbon that balances true whiskey traditions with eccentric innovation. Black Steel is distilled in the heart of bourbon country, aged in barrels held in one of the world's most respected rick houses, and exclusively released in small batches. It's a delectable, body-trembling profile that whispers in your ear, "We belong together." Crack the seal and take it for a ride. You finally found the traditional bourbon you've been searching for. Black Steel Bourbon. Got a good bottle to it, too. And these are all these batches are labeled as well. So, I got 3 of these. And then this is the one I've already opened. But we're going to give it a fair review today. Get right on in. Of course, as always, here on the channel, I'm going to go ahead and do the rating exactly the same as I normally do with the beer reviews that we do here. And I think it's still a good format for this. As you know, I don't really usually do whiskey reviews or bourbon reviews, but here we are nonetheless doing a review on the Black Steel Bourbon. And I think it'll be appropriate. So let's go ahead. You hear that? That's it. That sounds good, don't it? Yeah. Here we go. Got our eyes. A lot of people out there. Look, I don't need you whiskey guys or your bourbon guys coming after me. Which, you know, you probably won't, because I do know that a lot of people that really prefer bourbon like them on the rocks. I'm gonna rate this on the rocks because that's how I prefer to drink it. So if you guys want a review without it, just come ask me and I'll have a drink on stream. But as far as giving this thing a fair review, we're doing it on ice. I'm not gonna do it with a little bit of water like other people. Other people usually say that's the best way to review bourbons, but yeah, ice melts in the water. I like it cold. We're going that route. So let's go ahead and pour up. It's Friday right now while I'm recording this, so we're gonna be a little generous. You know what I'm saying? So first things first, let's go ahead and hop into appearance and marketing. I mean, it's Dr. Disrespect, and you know, marketing is always like one of his expertises. I mean, he's really good at marketing. I mean, he's marketed himself. He's done a lot of marketing for a bunch of different collaborations and brands. So, I mean, we're gonna give the marketing a 9. I mean, it's Dr. Disrespect. This is pretty well well known that he's made some whiskey. I think he even wanted this to be his item in Tarkov at one point. But yeah, so we're going to give it a 9. And the bottle's beautiful. I mean, look at that bottle. I mean, they've done a great job with that. It's a good-looking bottle, good-looking logo. So we're going to give that a 9. We're going to get into aroma now. Aroma. So aroma-wise, I think it smells pretty good. I think that it's got a little bit on me. I can definitely get some hints of some lemon and vanilla. You know what? Let's read what's in on this bourbon. Let's get into this bourbon here. There is a notes trait, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably right on the nose with this. Let's see here. So warm baking spices, heated notes of vanilla bean, cinnamon, brown sugar, buttery caramel, and a hint of molasses. Burst of citrus, the perfect highlights to balance the depth to create an overall delectable complexity and full-bodied experience. All right. So citrus. Sweet toasted oak, hints of citrus and vanilla on the nose, warm baking spice and caramel with a lingering finish. All right. I'm going to give the aroma an 8. It smells good, and that's kind of where I was at on the smell. I thought it smelled pretty good. I mean, it's I can definitely now that I'm hinting at it, I can really get that cinnamon. I mean, it's not like a fireball amount of cinnamon, but I mean, it's there. It's there. It doesn't have the strength of, you know, when you open a bottle of Fireball or nothing. Like, it smells good. So, let's get on into the taste. All right, I'm definitely getting that citrus. I am definitely getting that citrus. That vanilla's there too. That vanilla is just like, it's ripe. I like the vanilla. I like that they have a hint of vanilla. I mean, it's and what's crazy is the vanilla is hitting really quick. That caramel is really just sitting on the tongue. I'm not getting a lot of the cinnamon. The cinnamon doesn't seem to be lingering too much, but I mean, it's going down smooth. It is going down smooth. I think we mix a little more of this ice. Let's get it a little bit more. I ain't trying to get too lit before I give this thing a good review. I really want this cold water to break down this a little bit so I can get, I want to get inside. You know what I'm saying? I want to get inside, and I need to get those flavors a little spread out. Man, this is a good sipper. I will tell you, this is something you can really sit back and have some sips on. Let's go ahead and I'll let you guys know the proof is a 50%. So, I mean, at 50%, we're not getting like something that's insanely strong. You know, this is a really good sipping bourbon. I mean, it's nothing wild, but it's definitely, you know, it's got the body of 100 proof, but it's not overwhelming. I really like the way that vanilla bean really mixes in with that caramel. I mean, it really sits on your palate well. And then, of course, I mean, you know, with the citrus, it balances it out. But, you know, it says it has a lingering palate, but I'm really not getting that. It stays on the palate. It stays on the palate well, but that citrus is kind of just knocking it right off. That's why I'm having to take so many sips, It's like I'm trying to, remember what I'm tasting. Overall, a very well-balanced bourbon, though. It's a very well-balanced bourbon, and it tastes good. So that's good. I don't think that this is probably going to be one of them bourbons that are, like, on the high ranking. This might be an entry-level bourbon, to be honest. But this is something that anybody can drink. And that's honestly what Dr. Disrespect's going to be marketing this to, is anybody. Any gamer, any old guy that wants to have a glass, and feel like they're drinking something special. This definitely tastes like quality bourbon. I mean, it's not something like, this is definitely not bottom shelf at all. Like, what is it? 1792. I did not like that. I think it's 1792. Is that the bourbon? Yeah, 1792. I'm not a fan of 1792. I bought it one time and I never bought it again. So I'm not a huge fan of that bourbon. But, like, I do like Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is one of my go-tos. I would, if this was actually, like, more obtainable, these are, limited. It's very limited to get this. If this was more of a mass-produced thing, then I would definitely probably go to this over Buffalo Trace. I do like Buffalo Trace, though. The big thing with this is it's going to be great mixed with Coke. And I love a bourbon with Coca-Cola. I absolutely do. That cinnamon is just like, it's just very, very light. Very light. Very light on the palate. It's not lingering. It's not hitting hard. I mean, it's just very light on the palate. But it's good. What I like is the vanilla. The vanilla really mixes this thing very well. It does a good job. It does a very good job. It does a very good job. I mean, look at that bottle. Look at that bottle, baby. It's good. Good bottle. So on taste, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an 8. I think this is a good bourbon. I think 8's fair. I think it's a good bourbon. Let's do an audible. 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. This is a small batch. It's definitely really good. Body. We'll go to body. Honestly, it's got a good body to it. Having said that, I did mix it with ice, and it's a little on the lighter side. I'm not sitting here taking shots of it, but with the ice and it being diluted down a little bit, it's perfect. It's perfect. I'm sipping on this, no problem. I'm enjoying it. I could do this. I could fire up a game of CSGO, sip on this with some ice, and enjoy it the whole way. No mixing anything. I probably will, I would like to mix it with some Coke, though, and see, like, how good it is with the Coke. I bet that vanilla hits, you get that, like, kind of vanilla Coke vibe. Little bit. Not heavy. The vanilla's not that heavy, but there's hints. You can taste it. So we'll give the body of this a 9, and the finish isn't there very long, so that's good for me with the bourbon. I don't want to have that, that lingering flavor on there too long. It's good. And the flavor that you get is good, but having it linger too long is not something I really want to have on my palate. I think finish-wise, I think we give this an 8. I mean, you can tell you're watching me do the review. I'm keep on going back for another drink. So the finish is making me want another drink, and that's good. Overall, it's a really good bourbon. It's a really good bourbon. Let's go ahead and total this out. And we'll see where Dr. Disrespect's Black Steel Bourbon rates on the Sovillo channel. This song's a vibe. All right. So on a suave rating, this is getting a 42.5. 42.5. 42.5 out of 50 for the violence, speed, and momentum of Dr. Disrespect's bourbon, Black Steel Bourbon. It's good. I drank it all. So Yeah, 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 yeah.